Alright, so what's good, y'all? It's your boy Trilogy. I started a video where I was basically inspired to do a Timu haul because I'm like, yo, that's gonna cheer me up versus me coming to do some ranting here. Because I feel like life rage baits you. Like life sets you up knowing that it's gonna like bait you to be full of rage over something that clearly you should just like ignore, if anything. But I wanted to speak about the fact that I just took in Party's project, Drake's project, and I'm seeing the hate already just because Drake, it's Drake season, Drake hate season right now. Back when I was hating on Drake, it wasn't the hate season. I actually was hating on him for real reasons, and we're not gonna get into that. But it's like now everyone's hating because it's like the cool thing to hate. But it's like, how you gonna hate on Party? Like, you can't hate on Party. Like, Party's actually a hardworking dude. I don't think folks are really hating on Party unless they're straight blown haters. I think the real level-headed critic of Drake hater, level-headed Drake hater is saying, well, you know what, Drake didn't really do his thing. Party carried him. Blah blah blah. Drake sounds uh, unenthused and all, right. They're gonna go that direction. But let's break it down for you guys, because I think like folks don't really understand the Toronto nigga. Like, they don't understand the Toronto gallus, like the Toronto getting girl man, like what that looks like, what that feels like, and how that resonates on the world stage. Because there's one important phrase, I should have started this whole video with it. Probably would have been way more effective. Everything we do in life is about sex. Everything. Everything we trying to do, gain, work our job, da da da, impress people, whatever. Get these accolades, whatever you're trying to do is for sex. At least from the male POV, right? Was a man quote from show I'm not even gonna mention the show, but the whole point, um, he says it's all for sex, except sex. Sex is about power. When you realize that, you're like, oh, maybe like that's why racism is a thing, because it's like, you know what they say about black guys, right? And then all the white guys are like, yo, stop taking our girls, like, with that, using that as your means. And they create like a fiat system where it's like, we can compete with these guys in means that are not based on physicality and physiology. It's more based on like theories and being able to hide aspects of a situation so that you take advantage and capitalize, right? All that to say, folks is already saying and hating on Drake, saying that, goddamn, bro, why are you so corny? Like, the project sounds this, sounds that, it sounds corny. I gotta break down to you guys, okay? Corny niggas get pussy. Like, I don't know where the standard is coming from that you have to be a hip hop nigga to get bitches. Like, you gotta be like hip hoppy at all times. Like, the most inert, ignorant person, non-moving from your ignorance. You're just there in that state of ignorance, gets the most bitches. I'm sorry, like that's not it. That's never been. Okay, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. Not all the way 100, because there's no reason for me to expose my duck. But I live with a bunch of people around me, and I still get gal. Like, I don't have the condo. Ooh, I don't drive a car right now for reasons we can get into. I still get gal. I can go talk to a gal. Why? Because there's something specific about a Toronto woman that folks is not understanding, that creates but curates the energy of a Toronto man to kind of be as corny as what folks are looking at this project to say it is. Because there is some corny moments, but girls love corniness, and corniness makes them feel a bit more safe with you. If you're able to even drop a corny moment and they laugh, and boom, you're back to your serious vibe, that to them it shows the gamut of who you are as a being. So you guys is hating on Drake for showing a corniness, or hating on Party Next Door for participating on a 1-2 corny energy. But you're not realizing that's what makes life more enjoyable to the average person who's uptight. Average person who's going through a long day, a rough day, they hear that little corny moment and they're like, why am I taking this so serious? You don't gotta take it so serious. And that's the problem with hip hop. Hip hop feels like we have to inert ourselves to this ignorance. We have to be the most like, I don't travel, I don't go nowhere, right? But think about the women. Let's get back to the women. Let's get back to the real idea. What's motivating you to say, I can present myself like this? I don't care what the rest of the mandem are saying because I get gal. I don't care what the gal say. And mandem care about the mandem who get gal. That's it. At the end of the day, guys will always rate a guy or guys who get girls easy. Whether it's through money, whether it's because of their looks. Guys, only loser haters hate and say, well, you're only getting her because you're rich. Well, nigga, he had to work to get that. Or someone in his side or his family, oh, you're nepotism. You got the money from your family. It doesn't matter, bro. People marry people because of the family. There's women who will marry the ugly nigga just because he's related to the popular nigga or whatever. There's girls who will date dudes in the friend group just because they're a part of that friend group. So you guys got to understand, yeah, all those things you hating on still matter. Like, Drake is still great because he's who he's done and what he's done. And if he's so corny, y'all corny. You let a half Jewish, half Canadian dude run the hip hop game for so long, and then now you're outing him out of the game because he's Jewish and Canadian. That's as corny as it gets. You ignored the fact, oh, we're ignoring that because, he's still one of us. He's still black enough, right? And then as soon as he's not doing the things you guys want him to do, or he's moving in ways that's not appeasing to you, now everybody's like, oh yeah, we're ending him. Yeah, the Universal's talking about we're humbling this guy. What? How dare you guys even bring these narratives to my face to make me feel that as a creative, after I work hard on my art to present it and build myself up to a level, any level, there's levels to this. So it doesn't matter if I build up myself to 1 million, 100,000, 1 billion, whatever level I build myself up to. The people who write the checks, cut the checks, and just push play on buttons is going to try and tell me they're sicker than me. They're going to humble me. How are you humbling me when you're not even a talented individual? You're an executive. You guys push paper. You guys sign checks. I'm the actual talent. Even if I'm participating with ghostwriters, doesn't matter. I'm still the literal talent. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy that the black community would come gird up this nonsense against Drake. How would it be the black community, woke individuals, all these folks move in with this energy to say a black person built themselves up to statures that we don't see black people achieve, and just because he has other affiliations, he's Canadian, oh, he's half Jewish, we want to destroy that. Why don't we destroy Obama then? Let's just destroy Obama. I'm tired of us praising Obama. I don't want to hear no black person big up Obama. That man put drones all through Africa bombing up people, bro. Those drones were just regular drones with a camera on it. He the one who armed them up and put bombs on them and allowed them start dropping bombs. That was Obama. So I'm not praising that. I don't care. If you're gonna start hating on people because they have one thing you could potentially look at, and it's not even anything proven that we could say. We're just bandwagoning Kendrick, who to me lost all his credibility for being the actual woke nigga. Kendrick is asleep as it gets, walking around in Batman clothes and just moving like a Batman straight. I don't even care at this point. So you have to understand, like, it's like, why do you guys even think I'm gonna come up here and make such an explicated video about something that's not related to me or technically shouldn't have anything to do with me? Because I'm right in the crux of this energy, bro. I live in Mississauga. The whole energy of Party Next Door's project is based on this city. And this city is a city that is one to take in new immigrants. Oh, you just got to Canada? Live in Peel, which is Mississauga and Brampton. So I grew up here. I grew up here. This is the perspective of we just got here. We're here for new opportunities. We want to see Canadian dream, American dream, whatever, come true. And I feel like consistently that POV got mashed up because there's folks who's saying, oh, you guys aren't really in the fight. Only Americans, United States are really in the fight. But let's get back to the point where I'm saying everything we're doing is for sex. Everything we're doing. We get a new clothes, we get a new this. It's hopefully that, not to say like, every girl puts on makeup for guys to get, no, like, yeah, we have our personal reasons. But when you look at it holistically, when you look at it from the macro and you see, well, you're doing that for your own personal motivation, but that motivation was created through this culture that has to do with impressing the opposite sex for the means of reproduction. And these things are facts, but folks don't want to play into it or don't want to realize that they're facts until it's too late, right? But here, let's get back to the crux. Cause I'm technically missed my point. It's like you miss your turn. You're driving and you're supposed to turn there, and I keep going straight versus turning. So then I got a U-turn, come back, set up to go back for the turn, and I missed the turn again. So that's basically what I've been doing in this video. It really shouldn't be at 10 minutes. I should have been done by 5 minutes. But think about you guys as Americans making fun of Drake saying he's corny, right? Let me break down why he's not corny, or Canadians why we're not corny. You guys in the United States, in Florida, LA, New York, whatever, just across the border, you will fly out our women, our girls. I told you guys, like, I ain't living super duper. I still get gal. You will fly out the same gal who come to my spot and deal with whatever, or even less, dudes who's complete bucket waste man dudes. We call them straight buckets. You will fly out a girl who's smashing on a bucket. You'll fly her out, fly her all the way out to where you at to slap it, right? She gives you the nons, great, you got the nons, but when she's done and she comes back to Toronto, she's gonna go OT or wherever, or downtown, and she's gonna kick it with the most dude that she can, because she can't get no American ignorance. She has to deal with the Canadian ignorance, and the difference is a Canadian ignorant nigga don't get no money. He do get money, maybe some of them, but really ignorant Canadian niggas not getting no bread. Any nigga even working on the streets is actually a pretty intelligent dude, because all our systems are way more complex, way more I promise you. Trappers here go to the States and win even bigger. There's no such thing as, oh, a Canadian trapper go to the States and get beat up. There's a few stories, yeah, but most guys, they're trapping here. They connect with their links down there who they already been building up on the levels, and they super trap out there. It's very rare you hear of trappers in the States pulling up to Canada and looping and roping the game out here. That does not happen. Very rare. Very rare. That really never happens. There's really nobody who comes up from the States and comes and loops Canadians. That's not a thing. And for some reason, you guys think that's a thing. What we do, we always come from where we are, bring our asses down to the States and loop y'all. And the gal them, I've been looping the man them like crazy. Like super duper crazy. Air pressure all opening the door, from people opening next doors upstairs, opening my door. That's crazy. But anyways, they're looping y'all. Y'all will pay for the trip, pay for them to pull up, pay for their bag, give them a Birkin, give them a this. And then they pull up back here and they're slapping a bucket. And he ain't doing none of that for her. He ain't doing nothing of the sort for that gal. If anything, he's dogging her out. If anything, she's buying him food and pulling up with the food. Okay? So she's playing feminine for you guys. She play feminine. She play docile, submissive, ooh, because you're flying her out. We Toronto niggas know that, like, that's all, like, okay, like, maybe we went OT when we were young, drove distance or flew a distance 1-2 times for nons, but we realized, like, why, and when everything we're doing is for sex anyways, why would we do extra and above for an actual sex moment when everything I'm doing is for pumps? Like, me just lining up, the whole thing is about freshness. Like, I don't need to go over and above now for a specific gal. The whole energy I'm on is for the gal them. And that's what Toronto guys know. So when we're willing and down to do a corny thing, because it's like, you're going to fly her out for the pumps. I'm going to do the corny thing, right? You're going to think it's corny, but it's gonna resonate in her brain, and I'm still going to get the pumps. That's what Toronto mans are on. We're like, you don't realize we just had to do something. The something you did was the Birkin. The something I did was, Delilah. Like, whatever corny thing I did. Made a joke, bust whatever joke, and she laughed. And I still got the nons. I still got the draws. You are down 10K. You're down 15K. You flew her out. You had to do this. You had to mind her hotel. Do that. And it wouldn't be so bad if Drake didn't already say Toronto has the baddest women. Toronto has the best women. And then all you American guys started doubling down on his statement. Yeah, Toronto got beautiful women. Toronto got some of the best women. Toronto, none of y'all say, yo, Toronto don't got nothing on Houston. Toronto don't. I wasn't hearing that for the last 10 years. Well, while Drake was bigging up the gal from the RNs. So all of the American man them love our gal, But you don't realize these gal who look so pretty, look so this, look so top tier, woogie doogie, will slap losers. Will slap losers because they think like men. We will slap losers. We will go to a McDonald's and pick up a shorty and slap that. We don't care that she's from McDonald's. The same with the women here. They don't care that a man is from McDonald's or whatever until they're kind of positioned in a space where their feminine pride has to stand tall. And that's why you can't rope them. You just slap them for a little bit, but you realize, dang, in order for me to truly rope this shorty, I gotta maintain those appearances. I gotta actually keep paying for her hotel or keep buying her Birkins. And that's why anytime you see a Canadian shorty with one of you niggas long term, she's bagged up. Look at Aisha Curry. Look at even Melissa Ford and how her energy of a career has been. Canadian women, they know how to get the bag from you niggas. But us Canadian dudes know that they're finessing, and we grew up with them. We're not allowing it. Even I'll bring it to the nth level. In Canada, we have a culture of saying, "Oh, Scotians." The Scotians are gonna, like, a Scotian nigga will finesse any gal, like, dude, because I'm not gonna get into the Scotian polys, but there's just a reality of Canadian life that Americans didn't even want to care about the iota, the nuance of. They were just happy that Drake was still American. And as Drake start introducing his Canadiana vibes more and more and more, you guys are getting salty about it. Salty that he wants to take legal action. That's what we do in Canada. We take legal action. We're not going to kill you and shoot you and whatever for infractions on business and money and finances and things about our brand. We take your ass to court and sue you till you joke. You know what I mean? Like, that's basically what's happening. And the label probably going to lose that case. It's not a difficult case to understand. It's just idiots who want to act like, oh, you should have sued Kendrick. Sue Kendrick. Why don't you sue Kendrick? It's Kendrick you should sue. What? How is he suing Kendrick? Kendrick not signing no documentations towards the big exploitation of these lyrics being used on all these platforms. It's the executives. The man just presents his art. They could have snubbed it and said put it on the shelf like they do how many other artists where they put their music on the shelf. But they saw the ability to capitalize off of the downfall from Drake. And that's horrible business practices. That's like me partnering up. I'm not even going to give an example. It's straightforward, just horrible business practices. You can't be partners with people and say, you know what, I'm going to partner with, because I'm also partners with another entity and they have an issue with you, I'm going to support their issue because regardless, I still benefit. Whether I benefit off of you or I benefit from them, I'm benefiting regardless. Then it puts this entity in a position that they can sue and say, hey, you're pushing at a conflict of interest. And I'm not saying me and that person can't have our conflict, but you getting involved creates an immediate conflict of interest, especially when I'm a cash cow and I've shown my benefit towards everything that you guys are up to this point, as well as moving forward. The difference is you're trying to create a narrative where it says my importance isn't what it is. And that's what I'm saying, level sis, where regardless is like, oh, I'm trying to make 100,000 and now I'm trying to go for the mill and you're stopping me. Or I'm trying to get $10 and I'm trying to get to $11 raise. It's all the same shit. Give me what I deserve. Like, and if I'm negotiating it, because you don't always get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. So if I'm negotiating by making these plays and the fan base and the folks and regular people should keep quiet. And industry folk who's chiming in, acting like they know what's up, don't know shit. Because y'all the same dudes who's gonna fly out the Canadian girls to go slap them. They're gonna come back and sleep with us, and you're gonna still call us corny when you paid money for the draws and we got it for free. If anything, she brought us lunch. You get what I'm saying? So the whole vibe of you saying, "Oh, Canadians corny, oh that's corny," we don't care. We don't care. We don't care that you don't like the way we talk. It has mixed with Caribbean, whatever. Like, that's how we talk. I used to get angry and say, "Oh no, they're taking my no." We've been here in Canada moving the needle as Caribbean people forever, from the antiquities of Canada. You could research and find out there's been Jamaicans, the Moors, and we've been here. Okay, so if all kinds of folks is coming here and taking on that way of speaking, so be it, bro. No one get angry when random immigrants go to New York and pick up the New York accent, pick up the Southern accents. Pick up whatever accent. When you're around people, you pick up that accent. And I promise you, the JA folks, we run this ends. We've been running it. So that's why Drake has it. That's why he talks like it. And that's why he has that mixture vibe. Is everyone on his team is Jamaican. So I don't like when common sense, straightforward facts are being like ignored for ignorance and stupidity. Why? Because there's a trickle-down effect. The trickle-down effect, now, this is the whole point of this video now. The trickle-down effect, where it comes to guys like me, I'm not trying to get no, oh, I was supposed to get $1 billion, you're only giving me 500 mil, so I'm fighting to get that extra 500 mil. No, it's like, okay, you guys supposed to, this is my rate, or this is my places of authority, this is where I should be able to speak and be heard and be listened to. But I still gotta fight for that respect. And it only makes sense. If Drake is still fighting for a certain level of respect that he's owed, he built streaming. He built streaming. He built the streaming. This is a fact. Like, when you actually look at the metrics, the reality of what it means to go onto a platform, so that platform could turn around and tell its investors, this is the engagement, this is the level of engagement we're gaining day to day. And then those investors will seed more investment towards them to maintain the existence of that platform. Because Spotify wasn't creating no profits, bruh. Spotify didn't create profits until like last year or the year before that. Like 2021 was their first, like, I swear, the first year they recorded profits. If not, it was like 2024 or 23. It's not like they've been making profits all these years, eating good. They've been zeroing out, negative, in the red, or whatever you want to call it. And they've been surviving off of the fact that they've been having consistent growth. But who would be curtailing that growth if not the biggest artist of the era, of the generation, of the decade, of the whatever you want to call it? So if folks are not respecting that, oh, this guy brings attention, is bringing the eyes, which bring more endorsements, or brings more ad dollars, ad revenue. Okay, all these people selling their shoes, selling their this, selling their that. We can host their ads because we have more people on the platform because they want to listen to this popular guy. You guys are like taking it as, oh, it's just pop, it's the labels pushing him. No, this guy was a phenomenon, and I'm still waiting for any and every label who talking about the way they were pushing Drake to explain it and break it down, because they won't. They have no facts. It's not even the same guys in office, a lot of these guys. The real executives who are helping pushing Drake are still siding him, shaking his hands, and creating new companies, new entities, and signing him to those entities. Do we not know about Gamma Music? What do you think those guys are? They're just his friends? No, they were helping him in the beginning of his career. All those people, all the people who helped Drake and ate good for creating this behemoth of a brand that every person who affiliates with, producer, engineer, whatever, changes their life and they become rich. What do you think happened to those executives who signed him? Who got signing bonuses and got percentage of this and percentage of that? Their lives have changed drastically. They're investing in different they're the reason why the game is so tech focused, because they already saw the future of that. They're the same reasons why Iovine, Jimmy Iovine, left from the label and jumped to YouTube or whatever. Not Iovine. That was a horrible mistake. But you get the point. If you know the executive I'm talking about, you understand. He literally left from Universal or Warner, whatever, to get a job at YouTube. And it might have been Jimmy Iovine. I don't know. I don't really care. These guys are all the same to me. The whole point is reality. That's the problem. The problem is folks tapping out of reality. Like, the man is a rapper. It's not hard to rap. Folks is acting like, yo, it's hard to rap. How is it hard to speak the language you already speak on beat? You're already speaking it. Every day you're speaking how much different words to people, communicating. Now it's hard to create a little pocket of communication, put on beat. So there was nothing really hard to do to rap. All he did was start humming, one, two hum. And everyone in hip hop was impressed because folks didn't like musicality. All the musicians were the producers, were the Timberlands. And even Timberland ain't even not much of a musician. So our most heralded musicians and producers and actual folks who were good at music were never even in the spotlight in the first place. Since Quincy Jones is the real genius of Thriller, but we're going to praise Michael because he performs it. You get what I'm saying? And nothing against Michael. Michael's the greatest. He's the GOAT. But Quincy is the real GOAT. Quincy Jones is the real GOAT of all GOATs. And Stevie Wonder is my favorite, but I still have to give my praise to Quincy. It just is what it is. because that's real. Realism, reality. Like the man can compose, create music literally, and he creates and composes a sound that we love. But if we're trying to act like Michael Jackson composed the sound and created the sound, oh, Michael Jackson's sound, then you're taking away the genius of Quincy and you're trying to allot it to someone who isn't that. And that's basically what's happening. Folks is trying to say like, yo, Drake didn't really create this energy where he had the Drake effect where he jumps on your song and boom, it gets so much more streams than your original version. We're acting like that wasn't a thing for a good 5+ years. And this is from early in his career. Who else you know has that effect? Cash Cobain don't have that effect. A Boogie didn't have no effect. Bro, even the white artists, G-Eazy, Macklemore, nobody from no other Canadian. Weekend don't have that effect. Justin Bieber, you can mention brands upon brands, regardless of their race, regardless of their whatever. Regardless of their whatever. You can mention these brands and you can't find another example. You can't. You can't find no example. Even Future, who you want to say, oh no, well Future, he jumps on anyone's song. And Future caught his energy off Drake. Tony Montana was booming, yes, but when Drake did his remix to Tony Montana, Future was vexed that he didn't show up to the music video. That was the original first beef. Yo, this guy jumps and does my remix and but doesn't come to the music video or whatever, won't do the music video. Or that was an issue. You Google it today. You'll find old articles about this. Okay? So every person you want to recognize from our era caught an energy off of this guy. Because Drake was approaching this more than music. He was approaching it as a full business entity. He said, I want my music homegrown and in-house. Boom. Producer, sound, engineer. That was new to people at that time. Oh, yo, I need to have my own engineer and my own producer. Like, yes, the game knew that, but it wasn't just the average aspiring artist was like, yo, I gotta have my producer and I have my engineer. But Drake kept rapping about 40 and how he sounds so dope because of what 40 is doing. You guys love how I'm coming on these records because of 40. And you guys are loving these records because of T-Minus and Boy Wonder. And that's basically, he gave us the next level blueprint to mash up the labels, to say, yo, you guys don't have to be dependent on these labels. Find yourself a good producer and lock in. Find yourself a good engineer and lock in. Obviously, he introduced other ideas of, yeah, DJ, we got to have a good DJ. But back in the day, that was all you guys thought it was. Oh, let's just make sure I have a good DJ. I got my music records. I got my thing. I'm working at this studio, that studio, getting beats off of whoever, wherever I can find them. But yo, I need to have my DJ so we could do the live show. My DJ can cut my songs and go from song. That's the most people was really thinking. He changed that whole idea to say, no, care about the whole production process. Pre to post. Branding, marketing, the whole thing, like the Drake in a all black or whatever comeback season, Maple Leaf, whatever vibe that was, you could try and call it like a modern Canadiana vibe. The guy introduced that vibe to us and we're like, yo, yeah, you can be sleek and Canadian. Like, that's nothing wrong with that. You could be Canadian and be cool. Like, cool and Canadian started becoming a thing. To the point where there's so many folks out here who's cool, have nothing to do with music. They're just hip-hop adjacent as Canadians off of Drake. And you guys trying to take that away? Fair enough. Go ahead, try. But all you're doing is ruining reality, ruining what we think of reality, where now real hardworking individuals in other realms of music are being disrespected as easily the same way. Why? Because if we could disrespect the top dog, the GOAT, the person who's put in the most work and has the largest brand in the entire game, we could diss him just because whatever. And we could diss anyone because of whatever. Not understanding that, yes, this is a privilege to be in this game. But once you're in it, you have privileges, and those privileges should and need to be respected. Or there's no point to the game existing. If it's like, yo, it's a privilege to be in here. Yo, you should be, all right? You put in the work, you earn your stripes, and you're in it. You run it for all 10+ years. There should be no one who can come from no executive branch talking about they're going to humble you. That, to me, the entire game, even Kendrick himself should have said, wait. Yeah, I have a beef with this guy personally, but no executive is going to come out here trying to talk to artists saying, yo, we're going to humble you. What? That should be a no-no to everybody. And just the fact that we're living in that hyper reality where we expect executives can be and should be able to speak to brands like that, is why this is going to continue to be an oppression game, oppression Olympics, and racism, all these things ain't ending, because Drake beat racism and you all still want him to be a slave. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Anyways, peace.